Paula. This morning, many of us have seen content shared on the social platform representing former U.S. President Barack Obama and his wife as the monkeys. This is something that was published by U.S. President Donald Trump on his Truth account. Do you consider this content as something that could be considered as a form of hate speech, racism? So something that big platform should remove in the EU under the DSA rules, or is just freedom of expression?
So racism, hate speech, illegal content has no place online. Not because the Commission says so, because this is illegal in real life. We have a general principle, at least in Europe, which is that what is illegal offline, in real life, should be illegal online. I'll go a little bit deeper in a minute, but I'll start by saying that there is no difference in treatment, to the opposite. We take facts like they come to us, we take the platforms and the risks they pose exactly in the order and how they come to us, and we address all these risks. You're mentioning X. First request for information was for X. First investigation was for X. First preliminary findings were for X. First fine was for X. Not because we target them, but this just shows there was a substantial, and there is a substantial issue with X, so we had to address that platform. We did. We are doing the investigations in parallel with all of them, be it Asian platforms, be it American platforms, or be it European platforms, because let's not forget that a third of the investigations that are ongoing are against European platforms.
I wanted to ask if the Commission has any specific comment on the messages from Elon Musk and Pavel Durov via Telegram this week to the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez. Elon Musk, for example, said that Sánchez is a fascist. Does the Commission condemn these messages? Thank you.
Thank you. Full solidarity to the Spanish Prime Minister. We, of course, condemn any attacks on the leaders of our member states. Again, we stand in full solidarity with them. We even support with what we're doing here with the Digital Services Act. We support actions that are being taken at national level to hold these platforms accountable. Now, of course, again, we have the DSA and its harmonizing effect that is of key importance and that needs to be respected.
And actually, Prime Minister Viktor Orbán published on Wednesday a deepfake which portrays President von der Leyen and Hungarian opposition leader Péter Magyar, and the content and the context is that von der Leyen demanded that Péter Magyar wins the elections and then sends Hungarian public money to Ukraine. Do you feel that this deepfake, which is actually still online, is a violation? And how do you feel about the content?
Recall what I said previously. When we're speaking about respect, acting in a reasonable way, and not spreading disinformation, this, of course, applies also to leaders within the European Union and to our member states. Now, when it comes to that specific content, I mean, platforms also have an obligation beyond the fact that, of course, EU leaders and users should be responsible. What we're doing with the DSA is to look at how potentially a platform may be amplifying such type of content, which would also be not acceptable. So no specific comments beyond what I said on the individual content. We, of course, take it from a platform's perspective, but we ask, of course, and we expect from EU leaders to treat everyone with respect and to post in a reasonable way and not to spread disinformation.
Earlier this week, French President Emmanuel Macron sent his diplomatic advisor Emmanuel Bon to a discreet trip to Moscow to speak directly with the Kremlin. I know President von der Leyen met with Macron yesterday in Paris. So did they discuss this topic? Does the president support this re-engagement despite the fact that there is no unanimity between member states and the common position remains diplomatic isolation?
So, no, this was not a topic discussed yesterday at the meeting between President von der Leyen and and President Macron. But yes, there had been contacts regarding this visit by a representative of the French government. And as I've also had the opportunity to already say in this room a while ago, at some point there will have to be a contact with President Putin. And we would like it to be sooner rather than later if the conditions are met. But the issue is that pretty much we're not seeing any signals of willingness to really come to a deal, to really come to peace in Ukraine. So this needs to be taken into consideration when we're speaking about direct discussions with President Putin. In the past days, several member states opening the possibility, so we'll see where we are, and we'll see if indeed this is something that is becoming common, and that if there's a majority of leaders within the EU who would be defending such an approach. So for the moment, we cannot say more than this, but we see indeed a shift in the attitude by some leaders. Yes.
Tatiana Vysotska, European Pravda, Ukraine. My question is about sanctions. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said yesterday that any further U.S. sanctions against Russia, including Shadow Fleet, are dependent on the peace talks. And I'm wondering, maybe the delay with the announcement of the 20th package of sanctions by the Commission is also linked to the peace talks. Maybe sanctions are used as a leverage at the peace talks with Russia. Can you comment on that? And also, HRVP Kallas said that the goal is to adopt the sanctions before 24th of February, to the anniversary of the full-scale aggression against Ukraine. Is this target still realistic? Because it's only a little bit more than 2 weeks left to the date. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, sanctions, we see sanctions as one means to indeed putting pressure on Russia to come to the negotiating table. So as a means to eventually have a condition to achieve the peace, the so much desired and longed for and deserved peace in Ukraine. So we are working very actively on the 20th package of sanctions. We had said that this should be ready soon. So let's see when exactly all the conditions are there for the adoption, but I can confirm that indeed also in the past days a lot of work has been going on this 20th package of sanctions, so I think we could expect it rather soon.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.